Welcome back to Touring America. As you know, on a long trip, there's a lot of things that can go wrong with your bike. Gas, oil, electric, and it's important that you have all the things you need to be able to handle any situation. Today, I'm going to show you what I keep in my right-hand pannier. It's all the things that I need in case something goes wrong with my bike. So stick around.
Hey, we're Pliers from Greensboro, North Carolina.
So we're back here on the Touring America bench, and we're going to talk a little bit about the BMW pannier liners and kind of show you how those are set up, and also talk a little bit about how I pack this particular pannier. This is my right pannier, and this is the one that I use for stuff that goes with the bike. The tools and the accessories and all that stuff that you need to have when you're on the road. I've been on a lot of trips now, and I've been on a few where we've had breakdowns. We've had breakdowns. I've been, not myself, it could be me or somebody else in my party, northern Wisconsin, in New Mexico, in just outside of Topeka, Kansas, right? So stuff that you need to have with you just to kind of deal with at least minor issues that come up when you're out on the road. So let's kind of talk about this and go over it real quick. What I'm using as the basis for this discussion is a list, and I'm going to post this list out on the website, and you'll be able to find the link to this document down in the notes below here. But this is my packing list, and it's divided up into a number of categories: riding gear, clothing, fun stuff, emergency equipment, mechanical stuff, camping, toiletries, camera equipment, now that I'm making the channel here, and also some other things. And so this is the basis of my packing, and I'll publish this up on the Touring America website at touringamericablog.wordpress.com, and also on the Facebook page. I said I'll put those notes below. So this you can go back and use that as a reference if you want. It's just an Excel spreadsheet. So let's get back to the BMW pannier liner bags here. It's a nice nylon bag that does have some structure in it. I'm not sure exactly what material that they put in there, if it's a fiber card type of a material or if it's a cardboard. But the nice thing about this bag, and I'll turn it a little bit right, is it holds its shape even when it's empty. I've done some reviews on the Kathy's Journey Designs bag that I used to use, and I sold to a viewer. And those bags, when they were full, they were great, but when they were empty, they kind of flopped around. They were an unstructured bag. This bag has some structure to it. So let's start with the outside pocket. Actually, I'll tip it up here so you can see. It's got a zipper that runs along the top and then kind of down at about a 60-degree angle. It's a fairly narrow pocket, maybe intended for documents or something like that. And what I've chosen to do is put my accessories in that pocket for my Sena Prism, however you want to say it. All the extra little helmet clamps and mounts and suction pad covers, stuff like that, so that if I'm on the road and I need to make a adjustment to where the camera is placed, I can kind of get to that stuff easily, pop the side cover open on the pannier, and get right into that outside pocket quickly. Turn the bag now and open it up. It's a dual zipper entry. And then you've got two halves to the bag. You've got a mesh-lined upper portion, which is the outside of the bag, that's got a little mini pocket. And then you've got the main portion of the bag. The main portion of the bag has these elastic straps in it. I'm sure designed to hold clothing in. And we'll talk about that when we get to this section. But first I want to talk about the lid section. When you first get the bag, that nylon section there actually contains a shoulder strap that goes onto the external D-rings. Right? It's actually a pretty nice shoulder strap. I usually don't use these. I didn't use them on my other liners either. If I'm getting to a hotel, there's a bunch of us, and typically what we'll do is we'll just get one of those luggage carts and kind of pile all of our stuff on there and take it to the room. But these are provided with each bag in the set if you want to use those. and that comes in that pocket. What I've done is put a couple little things in here, and these are pants retainers to clip to the bottom of your pants to keep them from blowing up in the wind. I don't use these very much anymore. When I rode cruisers, I used them a lot more, but I do bring them with me just to have them in case a time comes up where I do have that issue. It's nice to have them, or somebody else in my group could use them as well. That's the only thing I keep in that nylon pocket right now. This is going to be the first trip with these bags, so this may change, but right now in the mesh lid pocket I've got a couple things. First of all, I've got a Ziploc bag, and that contains all of my rags, some paper towels, some detailing spray, some glass cleaner, and some glass defogger to put on my my glasses and my sunglasses to keep them from fogging up. And that all stays in a plastic bag. Anytime I pack anything that's got liquid in it, I always put it inside a plastic bag that seals tight, just in case it comes, the lid comes off or the container breaks inside. It won't get everything all wet. So that goes in half of that. The other half is another Ziploc bag that contains all my bungees, my bungee nets, my rock straps, all that. And I probably carry way more of these than I need. But it's one of those things where if you're on the road and you stop and you buy something that you don't expect, or you need to strap on, it turns from 50 degrees to 100 degrees, you need to strap all your jackets and stuff down. It's nice to have those rather than not. And the other thing I keep in here is a bunch of hand warmers and foot warmers. And actually don't use these in my hands or inside my gloves. I will use them in my boots, kind of depending on where they're at. That's the only place I don't really have heated gear. The boot liners provide a little bit more heat, the hand warmers a little less, so I'll kind of decide kind of where I need them, and I'll slip them in as needed. And that's kind of what I keep up in the lid of the bag. Like I said, this could change after the trip. But this is pretty similar to the setup I used in my old luggage liners. So I'm trying to keep stuff the same, because after you've been doing it for so long, you just kind of learn where stuff is at, and if you start changing that around, it gets hard to follow sometimes. Take the elastic straps off, and the next thing I've got here is a little mini pouch. I get these at Home Depot. It's a Husky brand, and I've got a few of them that I use for different things. You can get them in different sizes. There are 3 or 4 packs. They come, kind of from Giant, and they get a little bit smaller as they go. But this contains all of the charging cables and my jumper battery. And I'm going to show that to you right now. I just had it over here plugged into the wall charging before my trip. This is a battery. I think I bought it off of Amazon, and I don't even recall the brand. Powerall is the brand of it. And essentially it's a big battery pack, and it's got a flashlight built in, as well as 2 USB charging ports. You can charge phones and things like that off of it as well as a DC input to charge it. And I can charge it either with a 110 volt wall charger, or inside my kit here there is a 12 volt charger. You can plug it into a cigarette lighter style of socket, and it will charge the battery while you're riding if you need to. The other part of the kit are these alligator clamps, big alligator clamps, and these actually plug into the end pocket here of the battery. And it's hard to get open right now. I got to get a little knife and pry it out. But anyway, these will plug in, and I can actually use this battery to jump start a motorcycle. It's got enough current, they say, to do 1 jump start, and that's really why I keep it. I actually have been on the road with someone before who ended up having an electrical issue, and it was running their battery down, and we ended up having to jump start off of cars. It would have been really nice to have this available to us at that time. So after that trip, I went and bought it, and I've probably had this one for, I don't know, 6 years, something like that. And I haven't had to use it since I bought it, but it is available there if we need it. There's your flashlight. It also does a flash, right? So if you're stuck on the side of the road and you need help, you can do that as well. Okay, and that all tucks right into that little pouch, so all that stuff stays together. And I'll put this aside for now. The other thing I put in the main section is a tire repair kit, which is the CO2 style. And I keep that in another one of those little husky bags. Right? So it's the kind where you unscrew the bottle, holder, put a CO2 cartridge down in there, screw it shut, screw the nozzle onto the motorcycle tire, and then it will take the entire contents of the cartridge and put them into the tire. I also have in here the tools that go with it. I've got a plug inserter, I've got a little rasp tool, I've got a set of plugs and some rubber cement that all go with that kit. Right? So those things all stay together in this little bag. I did for years travel with an electric air pump, but what I found is if you actually have a leak that essentially results in a flat, that those things just take way too long. The volume on them is so small that even if they work, it'll take forever to work, and a lot of times they just don't have the volume. If you pop a bead off of a rim, you're never going to get reseated with one of those. With these, at least you have a chance. I usually will carry a can of either invisible glass and or Plexus with me so that I can clean the bugs off the windshield in particular. But with the 3M Clear Bra on, which I've got a video to right here, you can click below to see the video of that. Either one of these products is great for just wiping the bugs off. I don't have to worry about scraping my paint. A lot of people will advocate for not doing a wipe down on your bike because of the risk of those hard bug carcasses kind of scratching up your paint. I don't really worry about that with the 3M product on there. So use that to clean and polish up. So I'll have that in this bag as well. And I'll use those microfiber cloths I showed you in the other Ziploc there to actually do the wiping. I'm going to close this bag up for a second and show you the last item that I keep in there, and that is my tool roll. And this tool roll is also, you can see it on there, a Kathy's Journey Designs. It's made by the same people who made that other piece of luggage liner that I talked about before. And I don't even remember where I bought this, to be honest, but I've had it for many years. And you take the Velcro off and it unrolls. It's not unlike a lot of other tool rolls that are out on the market, but I'm going to go through a little bit of what I keep in mine and why I keep it in there. And I'm going to start at the far end and work towards me. So this is just a pair of channel locks, right? A pair of pliers, and I prefer channel locks to other types of pliers simply because of their adjustability, right? I can go really big with these if I need to, and also small. And those actually take up 2 slots, right? And you'll notice the seam that runs right down the length of the tool roll. I try to have all my tools be shorter than that so that it folds over and rolls nice. The next section over is I've got a number of sockets, metric sockets. Both my Honda and now my BMW are all metric. And so I put the sockets that I know that I have bolts that will need those sizes if I need to tighten them up or loosen them. You really don't have room to take an entire socket set from whatever 3.5 millimeters all the way up to 30 millimeters with you. So you kind of got to go through and find the socket sizes that are the ones that you're going to use. And those nest and stack real nice in just one of these slots. I've got a set of needle nose pliers for bending pins, doing a little electrical work if I need to. They also have a set of wire cutters down in the crotch of them. Right? So those go tip down. I've got, and I'm going to pull these both out even though they're kind of on separate ends of the bag, I've got 2 Torx drivers. I've got a T25 and I've got a T30, since those seem to be the 2 most common sizes on the BMW. If I need to take off body panels or tighten up engine pieces, those might be useful to have. And those just go right back down into those slots. Related to that is this socket set, which is a set of Torx drivers. We talked about how I really don't have room for an entire set of regular sockets, but I do have room for these. This is a Husky brand that I got at Home Depot, and what I like about it is they all fit on this one little strip, and they're not kind of rolling around all over the place. And this goes from a T9 all the way up to a T55. And what I can do with those, once they're all stuck on this strip, is to slide them back down into one of these pockets. And you'll notice again, the top of that strip is below the lid fold-over point. So that works really great inside the tool roll. And I can do just about anything that requires Torx. I've also got a Crescent Wrench. I would love to have discrete wrenches. I'm really not a fan of Crescent Wrenches in general. They tend to cause bolts and things to be rounded off, but there's just not room for an entire set in the kit. So instead I put a Crescent Wrench, or an adjustable wrench, whatever you want to call it. I've got a 6-in-1 screwdriver, 2 sizes of Phillips, 2 sizes of regular, and 2 nut driver sizes. I've actually never run across a nut driver that I needed on the BMWs, but having the Phillips and straight blade screwdrivers is a nice thing, all in one kind of compact driver. I carry a metric set of Allen wrenches that go from 1.5 all the way up to, I can't even tell what the biggest size is because it's worn off on there. I want to say it's an 8mm sockets. So I keep those in there as well. And then my socket handle, right? Obviously, if I'm going to keep sockets and these Torx bits, I need to have a driver for them. So I keep a socket handle in there. And then all at the end, I have some discrete Allen wrench tools that typically, these are ones that have come with products that I've bought. And so I just stick them back into here in case I'm on the road and I need to adjust some type of an aftermarket product. I can pull out the tool that came with it, and just in case it's a size that's not included in my kit, I know I won't be out on the road and be short. The last thing that's in this tool roll is there's this little black patched area right up here, and that allows you to kind of tuck some things in there that don't fit really well in any of the other pockets. For me, it's a tube of blue Loctite or thread locker. I keep that in there. If things go loose on the road, it's nice to be able to put some more thread locker on it and make sure it doesn't happen again. I've got a socket adapter. I keep a couple of air valve caps in there in case I lose those on the road. This is another socket adapter. I think this is a T30 that actually, I don't know if you remember on this, there was one post on the Torx kit that didn't fit, because if I put it on there, it won't fit down low enough to get below the fold. So I actually put that one in the pocket as well. And then finally, a third socket adapter. So I can really run just about any size socket that I need to, 1/4 or 3/8 drive on here. And those I'll just tuck into this black pocket, and it all seems to stay in there really nice once this is rolled up. All right. And then when I'm done, I can just fold the top back over and roll it up. Always make sure I pull that lid down tight, and a single Velcro strap holds it all together. If you're carrying your tools in some other way, in a toolbox or in, I don't know, baggies or something, I really would advocate that you look into getting a tool roll. Really, really nice. And more tools than are available in the stock kit that comes with most bikes. So those are the things that I keep in my bike kit. In addition to that, the other thing that might end up going in here is a couple camera accessories, perhaps a tripod, extra batteries, things, because I do still have some room in this bag. But until I actually kind of get out this week and start to try to get all that stuff packed up in there, I won't know exactly for sure. But those are the core things that I've carried for years and years in my bike supply kit. Some people will carry oil, and that's one of those things you need to get to know your bike on. If your bike does use oil, you might want to carry a quart of oil. The other thing I've carried in here in past bikes are paper funnels that fold up flat. Regular funnels are a pain. They take up room, and after you pour oil through them, they're dirty and they have oil in them, then you don't really want to put that back in your bike if you don't have to. Paper funnels, you use them once and then you throw them away. So those are a couple other items that sometimes I've used in some of my past bikes. And just a matter of knowing your bike and what you need while you're on the road. So that's kind of where I'm at. If you've got any questions, make sure you put them in the comments below. And make sure you subscribe. We're going to be posting a lot of video and photos from the road starting on October 8th or 9th. Will be the first episode of my fall road trip. Unfortunately, I just was looking at the weather, and it looks like there could be a hurricane moving up the East Coast. And that might affect kind of both of our primary destinations of West Virginia or New England. So we're going to have to watch that closer and make a call. We may end up actually having to go west. So we'll just see how that goes. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter as well. And as always, we look forward to hearing from you. Be safe, have fun, get those last couple rides in before the winter changes in your area, if you're in an area where the weather changes. I know here in the Midwest, we probably only have about 6 weeks of realistic riding before those first snows hit. So all the best to you. I will talk to you later.
Down the street, where you take me to get some air.